In this video, you're going to learn about the 3 essential pillars for profitable email marketing. So in other words, these 3 things are essential in order to make email marketing work for your business. It's like a stool, right? So if you only have 1 or 2 of these legs, then the stool can't stand upright. So with all 3, that is what it takes to have a thriving and profitable email marketing channel, I guess you could say, for your business. And it is, as you can see, I have this golden streak of light. It is golden hour, and we're going to make this a golden time. So let's dive in. Pillar number 1 is what I like to call flow. In other words, the content and the copy itself, right? So this is the actual words that you're reading. And now the cool thing about when you understand and get this right for email is you can use it in your social media, and you can use it on your website, in any place online and honestly in person where you're communicating about what you do. This content is congruent with whether it's email, whether it's social media, whether it's website, right? So it's actually surprising to me in a lot of clients I work with, and it's surprising but not surprising in the sense, and by surprising, it's surprising how many people are unable to clearly say what their business does and who exactly they serve, and how to speak to the problems that their clients are facing, right? And I say it's surprising because some of these businesses are like generating a lot of money and you would think they would have this down. But on the same time, we're often so close to our business that we can't even see these things, right? So like if my hand is over my face, and you can try this, put your hand over your face. If you put it really close, all you're gonna see is dark. But then when you move your hand away, you're able to see, oh, that's my hand. And I think it's a similar thing with understanding these important messaging hooks and frameworks in our copy, right? So because we're so close to it, we can't even understand, if you bring in a third party or a different perspective, you can see, wow, this is what my clients are saying, or this is actually what I do. I just didn't even know how to articulate it, right? So the first part is having copy and content in your emails that effectively speaks to your target audience in a way that is going to get them and incentivize them to take action. So this is actually the foundation of how I work with any client in whatever capacity. We'll do like a deep dive, kind of like a messaging clarity workshop, if you will, where I understand deeply about their story. I understand deeply about their clients, and understanding their clients' pain points, stressors, and kind of sometimes this will be broken up into 1, 2, or even 3 avatars, right? Because like one of my clients, for example, she kind of has 2 different avatars that we niche down to. One, we call them successful business owners. So these are the type of people who've already had success in their business. So that's one different avatar. The second group is, we call them, what was the name of it? It was something of like upcoming artists, right? So these are people who haven't yet had the business success and are earlier on in their entrepreneurial journey, but they're seeking the support and guidance, and they're seeking to build a business for themselves. Now you could imagine with those 2 different groups, we need to speak to them very differently, right? So in your content, in your copy for pillar number 1, it's so important that your messaging is actually aligned with what your client is struggling, or what they're struggling with first and foremost, and then B, how your service can get them out of that perceived pain and into their perceived goal, desire, solution, if you will. Oh, would you look at that? We're going to scoot this back a little bit. So to understand the ideal content and copy that you're going to want to send and post to your community, it's really important that you're first getting real clear on the fundamentals and the foundation of your messaging, right? So I'll be sending you guys some emails with different tips and strategies, and actually I have a worksheet which I'll be sending you where you can get deeper clarity on this, but this is really the foundation, right? And why I said there are 3 pillars involved for a long-term profitable machine that is email marketing. But even if you just get the copy right, you can actually start generating sales, because the content is the actual magnetism, if you will, right? So this is the element of your marketing that's, if you're doing it right, is going to incentivize someone to book a call with you, download your ebook or get your video series or attend your workshop or whatever that call to action is, the magnetism or resonance all comes down to copy and content. So that's part one. And as long as you have part one, you can, like I said, you can still get some traction and results, even if you're just posting on social media or, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. You can still speak to these people. Now, the challenge is without pillar number two, it's not sustainable. Without pillar number two, you're kind of always scrambling. You're just like posting and posting and posting because that's what you think you're supposed to do. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not automated. It's not working while you sleep. It's needing your attention 24/7. And that brings us to pillar number two. If pillar number one was the flow, aka content, pillar number two is the structure, or in other words, the system. And in email marketing, the system is a couple different things. On one hand, and most importantly, it's the actual platform that is sending your emails, right? So I use Go High Level. You could use HubSpot. You could use ConvertKit. There's a lot of different tools and tricks out there, but this is the system that holds the flow, if that makes sense. Or this is the structure that holds the flow, as I like to say. And why this matters is, of course, you're going to need a landing page, which is what you just opted into and how we're now communicating. That's part of this system, because now once they get into your landing page and they opt in and they give you their email, now you have permission. This is called permission-based marketing. I have given you permission because I want to learn or I want to get something that you have. So now I can share with you all these different fundamentals and tips and strategies so you can be successful with email. Now, of course, you're going to be doing this for whatever it is that your business offers. And what makes this part really important with email specifically is, one, the automation part, right? So as long as we're filling up the bucket, so to speak, and by bucket I like to say is your funnel. So you enter the bucket through whatever the lead magnet is, right? So we're going to get into this more in pillar 3, but the entrance into the bucket is whatever your lead magnet is. Maybe you're doing an ad to whatever said thing is. Maybe you're posting on Facebook or Instagram. It's whatever your free gift or free incentive is to get people in. Because once you're getting people in, then now they enter your system. Your system is the automated string of emails that is effectively utilizing what we did in pillar 1, all the content, in order to drive that person to take a different action step. Now, why this is so important is, first and foremost, once you get people into your funnel, into your email system, you can tweak and refine and optimize all the different metrics that can determine the most success for these emails. And what I mean by that is you can change the time you're sending these emails. You can change subject lines. You can mix emails up to see what is resonating with people and what maybe isn't. And you can look at this, of course, through your open rates and your click-through rates, etc. But the important thing to understand here is you have a system. You have an automated, reliable way to know when someone comes into your system, that lead comes in, you're sending them X amount of emails, in a nurture sequence. It could be anywhere from like 7 to 10, and then continuing to send them emails. So just because they're hopping in or getting into your system doesn't mean you have to actually write these. And that's what's so beautiful and brilliant about email and why it's so scalable is once you do, like what I always love to say, what I love about email, that's a lot of loves, but I guess there's a lot of love flowing right now. And I'm still getting beamed with this golden hour flow. Like, I guess sometimes you got to just embrace it. It's a lot of upfront work, but that's the beauty of it. Once you set up the system, like I mentioned, there's optimization, refining, but the system works. Like you'll see for every 100 people who go in this automated string of emails, that maybe 12 are going to book a call. And of those 12, maybe 6 are going to be a client. So now in your business, this core key metric, that in order to get 6 clients, you need 100 people coming into your lead magnet. So part 2, the structure, or as I like to say, the system, is essential to freeing up your time and creating a reliable formula to book sales calls or generate sales or whatever the core KPI or call to action is in your business. So part 1 is the flow, or as I like to say, the content. Part 2, the structure or the system, you could say. And the third leg, which kind of ties everything together, is the strategy. Now, this completely depends on the uniqueness and specificity of your business, right? Whether you're a product or your service, whether you're a $200 product or a $20,000 product or service. And the strategy will dictate how you go about emails, which emails to send, and what your call to actions are, right? So if you are selling a $20 product, it's a much easier ask than if you, not so much easier, but it's more overt where you can go for the ask in an email where like, buy my merch or whatever the thing is, as opposed to if you're selling a $5,000 or $10,000 service or a coaching package. Oftentimes that strategy involves getting on a call, right? Getting on a call with someone. And oftentimes those types of services aren't overtly advertised in what their price are, right? So knowing that, if we're going with that option 2, we have to think about the psychology of what are we going to have this person, what are we going to send this person? What is the frame of mind we want this person to be in, so that by the time they even see that email to get on the call, we have done our work in part 1, especially part 1 and with 2, to show them that we have a key to what they are seeking. We have the key out of their problem and into the solution that they are desiring, right? A great example of this is Russell Brunson, right? And when you look at Russell Brunson's copy, or at least this is how it used to be, his whole thing was one funnel away. You're just one funnel away from XYZ. Amazing results. You're one funnel away. So by the time that I've gone into Russell Brunson's content and marketing, he's done a really incredible job at being effective in speaking to my pain point and showing me that his unique solution, one funnel, is the answer to what I'm looking for. So if I were to get on a sales call and I have all that pre-framing and he's speaking to the specific problems and challenges I'm facing in my business, and he's, sharing ClickFunnels, which back in the day was like the solution to this issue, then I'm already pre-framed going into that conversation that is something I need. And then of course a sales call is going to be very different than just a sales call for a $5,000 or $10,000 product or service is very different than just buying a $20 product, right? So the strategy, again, depends on so many different factors. A lot of people I've worked with see success selling live from a webinar or a live training. So that's going to determine a different strategy. So again, when you have the copy and content itself in part 1, you have the system and structure in part 2 that can actually hold the content and does it in an automated and reliable way. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but in part 2, you can also have different behavioral tags and segmentation. So depending on the activity of your subscribers or the people who opt into your email, if some click here, then you're going to send them different content than if they didn't click, right? So it's more hyper-targeted and hyper-personal. Quick note on that. Segmentation is like if you take one thing away from this video when you do your email marketing and you start with your list, if let's say you don't have your list, or even if you have your list, you haven't done this, segment your list. HubSpot did a study and they saw a 791% increase in ROI for people who segmented their list for people who didn't. And it makes sense, right? Because segmenting is essentially personalizing it. It's making it more relevant. If I love apples and someone else loves oranges and you're marketing all the fruits to him, I want the apples and he wants the oranges. That is a super weird example, but I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. I probably didn't need to do that very strange fruit analogy. Anyways, back to part 3. The strategy coupled with content and a system is going to determine your success with email marketing. Now look, with most things in life, there's more than what meets the eye. There's nuance. On a high level, these 3 pillars are essential for profitable email marketing in your business. That being said, if you are someone who has not yet implemented email in your business, or you are using email in your business, but the conversions are not what you want them to be, I have an opportunity for you to book a call with me below. The intention of this call is essentially it's an email audit. It's a deep dive where I understand your business. I understand your email, whether you're using it or not. And I will assess if it is a good fit that we could work together and I could actually go into your business implement these 3 pillars and set up a profitable email marketing stream. So if that is something you're interested in exploring, click the link below, book a call, and I'll see you on the other side.